We've looked at absolute value, we've looked at opposite. We can combine the two and have, for instance, the opposite of the absolute value of -8. The rule for working with expressions that have more than one thing in them is to work from the inside out. We take the absolute value of -8. The absolute value of -8 is 8. The minus sign preceding the absolute value symbol stays with us. It stands for opposite. It says take the opposite of 8, which is -8. The next one asks us to take the absolute value of the opposite of 1 6/10. The absolute value of the opposite of 1 6/10. We begin inside and take the opposite of 1 6/10, which is -1 6/10. Then the absolute value of that is positive 1 6/10. This takes a lot of practice, and so I've given you quite a few exercises here, 9 exercises. Evaluate the following. Problem 1 is absolute value of -6 3/10. Problem 2, absolute value of 57. Problem 3, absolute value of 0. Problem 4, opposite of the number 1/3. Problem 5, opposite of the number -19. Problem 6, opposite of absolute value of 4. Problem 7, opposite of the absolute value of -15/16. Problem 8, absolute value of the opposite of -4 1/100. Problem 9, absolute value of the opposite of the number 5. Be sure to copy these carefully, then stop the tape, work the problems, restart the tape, and check the answers. The answers are 6 3/10, 57, 0, -1/3, 19, -4, -15/16, 4 1/100, and 5. If you had trouble with any of these exercises, be sure to mark them and ask for help from a lab instructor or a tutor. For the rational numbers, their opposites, and their absolute values, we can work on ordering the rational numbers, determining the correct order relationship between the rational numbers that are given. To begin with, we must define less than and greater than. So let's take a look at this. A is less than B. For A is less than B, we write the symbol A, a little arrow pointing to the left, and B. A is less than B means that A is to the left of B on the number line. For example, we know that 2 is less than 5. And if we look at a number line and locate 2 and 5, we notice that 2, sure enough, is to the left of 5 on the number line. Notice that the arrow symbol for less than points toward the lesser number. The companion definition says A is greater than B. A is greater than B, a little arrow pointing to the right, means that A is to the right of B on the number line. A is greater than B means that A is to the right of B on the number line. For example, we know that 3 is greater than 0. If we look at the number line, we see that 3 is to the right of 0 on the number line. Notice that in the greater than symbol, the arrow points toward the lesser value. That means that in each case, the arrow points toward the lesser value. 2 is less than 5, the arrow points toward the little guy. 3 is greater than 0, the arrow points toward the little guy. Let's try some other examples.